Ebusuan Dan Kwaku Yeboah ene da screen so na wakodi enkomo e Sporty FM ene na issues evolving around our blasters ene the Ghana Football Association ene wetima akwa addresses sa issues ni nyina. Carlos Queiroz ne future ene se ye kope a different coach amana be coach Ghana no wakasa e de afa ho na waka asem bi a atomakoma so en mepesi etie nensem ene ne nkomo ide okodiye na yehu se Ghana Blasters na ankasa no GFA fo no yen faith ete sei na ade ba ko kai wo kan se bebre bet baby o kan ye medepa ene se Ghana ye DNA ye philosophy a de ball. Now for the past years Gloria yaje internationally World Cups awodo yakọ empempenso ekodue the time of Sule mo time Baby Jet mo time Asia mo time the past glory are still ye living in ye je ho mena eje ho samarane ene ho nasefo ni nyina no. It was because of ye DNA bia ye protect ye DNA bia na ye use eno na etim eboa ye ema sa glory no ye za etim eka ye enti Ghana nkasa ye identity ya ho odin ye strength in the Blasters no ejina ye midfield because then enema ene Derek Boat ye boni din ene ye da so ebo Sule edin ye da so ebo Michael Essien I mean just name them. And then when you see those legends now ye some kind of respect edema wo mu because of DNA no and how ye ni ma no and e boa ye now and then na nyina ya ho odin e da so midfield because over the kind of midfielders ye wa ya ho den age midfield and wingers sesanete dia coach Ben na ese kofa se Ghana ho den midfield and wings that means ye kofa a defensive coach MYA nemum ebe benefit the defenders enutina at the World Cup no Jonas Ajeti ni ye bona baso enutina Jerome Opoku na ye bona baso because system na ye bono favor defenders no inti ama our midfielders and our strikers our wingers no ye hu omo so emfaso ebuse wadin komo na we de men kasa kranche yenko nyenkoti ensema ene Dan Kwaku Yeboah aka edafa yen coach sensem Blasters sensem GFA yenkoti mra.
We're just looking at the state in which we find our football and the talent, whether I mean, we're kind of like agreeing that talents are missing. We don't have enough talents. Why are we not polishing talents? Why are we in this state and all of that? Do you really think that Ghana is now bereft of talents?
Ghana is never bereft of talent. The problem we have is that we're simply not ready to develop what we have. Ghana never lacks talent. We are not bereft of talent at all. I jokingly told someone that the present situation that we find ourselves, we do not have Ghana Football Association. We have KFA, not GFA, Curtain Friends Association. Because you can't run an association where almost everyone has a football club. Ordinarily, we know that the average black man doesn't see anything wrong with conflict of interest issues. But a situation whereby the FA president alone has 5 clubs, he has a company that manages players, the conflict of interest issues become deeper.
Motepe has a club, it's Sundowns.
I'm talking about 5 clubs. You are talking about a club. I'm not saying that conflict of interest is a crime. In fact, per our constitution, it is not. But the deeper it gets, the worse our football also gets. Because during the days of Afrani, and you know better, you are my senior colleague, they were going deep into the villages to pick talent. Now it is KFA, Curtain Friends. So, Fifi Bansin is part of us. Do you have any good player in your team? We put in the under-17 team together. Give us 2 players. Randy, give us 2 players. Osekre, give us. So, I pity the Ghanaian national team coaches nowadays. It is not a true representation of a national team they are coaching, because the influences are too much. They are simply too much. Quite apart from that, we haven't developed any strategy to develop our talent. It is get the talent, push them into the national team to improve their profile and sell. That's all we are doing. Years back, Ghanaian players could walk into clubs in Europe as first team players. Now it is not the case anymore. Now the strategy is we have accepted that our league is of poor quality and we are not ready to improve it. So let's go chasing the Ghanaian players born abroad. That is the policy of this FA from where I sit. And so the moment they hear Kwaku Yeboah Tiger, once he has Kwaku attached to his name, let's go find out. He might be a Ghanaian. Oh, Kwame Chuck Norris, Kwame might be a Ghanaian. That's all we are doing. And it is the reason why some old footballers, including Tony Bafu, have suggested that it is better we put up a desk at the various embassies abroad so that we tap those talent that we want to get from abroad early. Because the moment you allow them to grow, believe you me, England will not give you the top quality. They will make sure they convince him and use him. You only get the average ones.
Like Semenyo.
Exactly. They wouldn't give you the top notch players. They will make sure they convince. Lamine Yamal is a Moroccan, but they never would allow him to play for Morocco. So it is not a matter of Ghana being bereft of talent. It is a matter of we having accepted that we are not ready to develop our football. A few football owners pushing players into the national team, selling them, lining their pockets with millions, and it ends there. When it comes to the national team, we'll tour the world and see if we can get some Ghanaian player or players of Ghanaian descent, convince them to don the national colours. That is the policy we are operating. And that is why our football keep sinking. The Ghana Football Association released the fixtures for the Ghana Premier League 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There is no conscious effort to promote the league. They just don't care. They've released the fixtures, waiting for the league to commence. It clearly tells you they have no plan for our league. It is about nurturing talent, pushing them into the national teams to improve their profiles and selling them. What even worsens the situation is that if you are not part of the cabal, they will make sure you lose your investment. Personally, sitting here, I have been training at a place called Rasta Park, Tantra Hill. I saw one very talented goalkeeper, and I thought that this guy could be helped. So I started managing him. I managed to introduce him to the handlers of the under-17. And they started training with him. They said, oh, he's good. The next moment, when they realized that it is Kwaku Yeboah who is managing him, they came back to tell me that, oh, MRI Achino. The guy, he couldn't make it. He's been affected by MRI. I said, okay. But at some point, I called the player and told him that, you know what? I'm a critic. I wouldn't change my style of journalism to suit you. So you better go get a different manager so that your career will progress. The player was denied entry into the under-17 in 2023, if I am correct. By the next year, 2024, another manager took him to the same under-17, and this time the MRI was okay for him. It tells you the sort of
when it was supposed to be even older.
Yes, exactly. The antagonizing system that the FA is operating. But I'm not surprised, because when Kurt took office, his first statement was, you can't work with your enemy. And so a section of the football community is seen as enemies. Instead of putting them together and picking their ideas, they see them as enemies. Me, sitting here, personally, when Kurt became the FA president, his first game was in Turkey, a friendly game, I think Ghana, Senegal or something. I followed the team to play that friendly, to cover for Peace FM actually. At the hotel, I paid my own bill. At the hotel, anytime I saw Kurt, you could clearly see his reaction was somebody who has an issue with you. So I said, President, I would want to have a meeting with you. I called him. He had time for me, and I told him that, Mr. President, you know what? You are new. You are fresh, freshly elected president of the Ghana Football Association. I wouldn't come and sit here and lie to you that when you were campaigning, I was for you. I was not. However, you are now the president of the Ghana Football Association. Make an effort to unite the media front, get all of us on board who support you. After all, the football ecosystem goes a long way to benefit all of us. We are all beneficiaries in one way or the other. So the idea of trying to create the impression that you have an issue with some of us, it wouldn't help you, it wouldn't help Ghana football. Because I could see anytime you see me, your facial expression wasn't friendly. I told him in the face, one-on-one, at the hotel. And he said, oh, it wasn't like that. Maybe I was thinking about something as my mind was somewhere. I said, okay, me, I'm ready. Because I cannot deny the fact that I'm a direct beneficiary of football. So if you put up any proper structure, any developmental plan, and you want me to assist, I'll be the first person to champion your cause. And he said, okay. That was the beginning of the end. The Football Association has a pro-media GFA and a perceived anti-media GFA because you see things as they are. Mm-hmm. At this point of our football, when a broad section of Ghanaians joined some group of journalists to demonstrate that Ghana football is sinking, another group of journalists did another demonstration. Ghana football is in safe hands. Oh. At this stage of our football, we could demonstrate that Ghana football is in safe hands. Well, so my senior brother, it is not about Ghana being bereft of talent. Ghana has talent in abundance.
We were trying to find out why, the league is about to start again without any headline sponsor. It's been like that for a while. It said that last year they got media sponsorship from Adesanwe for the coverage of the Ghana Premier League. Okay, why is it that corporate Ghana may just be interested in Immortal raised the issue Black Stars, because Black Stars have quite a number of sponsors. Why is it that corporate Ghana is interested only in the Black Stars, but they're not interested in the league?
Because corporate Ghana is interested in numbers. Every viable company is interested in numbers. Mm-hmm. You are talking about a league where the two top clubs, when they are playing and you get to the stadium, sometimes the stadium is virtually empty. So would you expect to associate his brand with the league? Mm-hmm. No. I don't blame them. Because they believe in numbers.
Cannot fail.
I remember in just before Nanado ended his term, there was a match that was supposed to serve two purposes. It was a league game, and they also used it as a what do you call it? Was it a top four or something?
It was
super clash. So the winner was going to get 3 points plus a trophy. Yeah. Imagine Kotoko and Hearts playing a single game that serves two purposes. I was at the commentary box a few minutes to kick off. Mm-hmm. I've forgotten the name. One gentleman from the Jubilee House asked that they should come and call me to the VIP stand. And when they were pleading with me, please announce on Peace FM that the match is free. Conanado had told, is it Equatorial Guinea or I've forgotten, the president visited him and he had given him the impression that, I'll take you to the stadium to watch my two top clubs playing. After two top clubs, empty
stadium.
Empty stadium. So we had to shout, it's now free, it's now free. Nobody came. I've been saying this last year on my comedy platform. I said something. Chairman General didn't want me to say. I said, nowadays, if a league match happens to be played on a Saturday and you stand on top of the Accra Sports Stadium, those who are trooping to the Osu Cemetery are more than those trooping to the Accra Sports Stadium. And we don't care. There's no conscious effort to improve the league. Last season or last 2 seasons, the Ghana Football Association made an effort to synchronize the commentary. I thought that they would review it, do impact assessment, and see how it went. Nothing of a sort has been done. There were complaints here and there. People were not getting the right feed. There were breaks and what have you. But nobody cares. We're still going to use the same system. First of all, you have a dying brand. Instead of allowing easy access for all the media houses to run commentary, I do not understand why up to date the Ghana Football Association cannot get one company and say that, you know what, we are giving the league commentary to all the radio stations for free. In return, they will play your advert. So give us 1 CD or give us 2 CD. It is very easy. Once the companies realize that, oh, Sporty FM will give us mileage, Peace FM will give us mileage, this one will give us mileage. It is very easy. I don't know why the Football Association is unable to do this. All they care about, oh, we've done synchronization. Then a few stations are able to pick them. People don't even get to hear of the scores anymore. Then they don't care. So for those of us who are football lovers, I think that we should just psych ourselves that is the reality, whether we like it or not. It is not going to change because we have a group of football administrators whose interest is centered on getting their players into the national team and selling them. So much so that for the first time in my journalism career, I've seen 2 under-17 teams being formed at the same time. When Lai Kingston was coaching one at Legon, there was another under-17 in camp. What are they trying to achieve? For the first time in my journalism career, I've seen a football association forming under-15, under-16, under-17, under-18, under-19, under-20. But what sort of development agenda is this? Even FIFA, how many, what do you call it?
Youth teams do they have?
Youth team tournament do they have? Ghana alone, 15, 16, because that is where the market is. Everybody is going to set for talent and sell. You go and talk about this. You get pro FA journalists who have been put on one flight to a World Cup tournament or a friendly game to insult you to the core. So they are comfortable with what they are doing, so we should also be comfortable with it.
Because sometimes when you talk about it, the club's owners will tell you that you are crying more than the bereaved.
Yeah. They are so hypocritical. You sit on radio and talk about the ills of our league. Behind the scene, they will call you, Dan, what mama. If you ask him to come on radio, he can't team relegation. But so I ask myself that, first of all, you are playing a league without a sponsor. Even if you win the ultimate, if you are the league winner, you don't even get anything. You spend millions on your players week in, week out, risking them traveling across the length and breadth of the country. So if you speak the truth and you are relegated, what do you lose? In any case, you are getting nothing playing the Premier League. So if you are relegated, what do you lose? But they are so hypocritical. They will call you behind the scene. They know we and you. So go team make relegation. Oh, chairman, let me put you on radio. So let's all enjoy.
Imo, what do you think?
The situation.
Move to the Black Stars coach issues. Do you still want Carlos Queiroz to stay?
I said yes and no. Yes, if we want an ad hoc measure, go into a tournament immediately, try to pack the bars, do our low blocking, get to maybe the quarterfinals and come home. If that is what we want, then he's the immediate answer. However, it still beats my imagination why the Ghana Football Association wasted everybody's time by going for a German coach by name Lepet and telling Ghanaians that he was at the FA to develop Ghana football DNA. And they themselves called it agro soccer. After you have developed agro soccer DNA, you go for a low blocking coach as your head coach. What are you trying to do? You are talking about having developed a system of football that Ghana is known for, the Brazilians of Africa. You go to launch it with all the fanfare and the pomp and pageantry at Alisa Agro DNA. Then after Agro DNA, you go for anti-agro coach. What are we doing? Ghana played against a minnow like, what do you call it? Panama. And in 45 minutes, not one shot on target. Not a single shot on target. So I never understood what they were trying to do. because nobody forced them to go bring that Lipet. I think he was at the FA for about 4 years. To the extent that even a government building meant for Black Stars coaches was demarcated into offices for Lipet and his staff. After 4 years, you launch the DNA with all the excitement. Oh, now Ghana football has an identity. Then, fine, you go and bring an anti-identity coach to come in. I don't know. I don't know what this FA is looking for, honestly. I don't know.
So, in your opinion, you give me two scenarios. Either we want the short term for him to stay, but in the long term, would you have preferred somebody else?
Oh yes, somebody who has a football philosophy similar to their own agro DNA that Ghana is noted for. Bansmania, you are my senior colleague. You know better than I do. In the past 30 years, Ghana's strength in our national teams has been in midfield.
Yeah.
So if you go for a coach who would let you defend throughout 90 minutes, then where is your agro soccer philosophy?
The radi type of football.
You see, when we went for this World Cup, people were blaming Jordan Ayew. Yes, you can blame him for all you want. He was the captain, whatever. Leadership responsibilities. There are some matches he couldn't do well and all. But have we also asked ourselves that how come Jordan Ayew could score 7 goals during the qualifiers with 7 assists? And then when we went to this World Cup, none of our 3 strikers was able to put one ball into the net. It tells you the sort of system the anti-agro coach was playing. So if we want a long-term solution to this agro philosophy we have developed, then Carlos Queiroz is not the answer.
Would you have preferred Otuado to still be there?
No. Playing 6 matches without a win. Abba. No. No. I would have preferred Hervé Renard. I think we should have been smart enough to engage him.
Is Hervé Renard not overrated? Yes.
Well, he has his ups and downs. You can talk about Hervé Renard that has coached teams that have lost badly. But if you look at his performances where he was given enough time to be with the teams, for me, he did well. He did well with Zambia. He did well with La Côte d'Ivoire. Was it La Côte d'Ivoire?
Yeah, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yes.
He won them with
exactly. So I think that we should have gone. He's much younger. You know, this World Cup, there were only 3 old men. Advocat, Queiroz, Hugo Bruce, South Africa, and Ghana's Olumai. 3 top old men at the World Cup.
Enti ensem no ena onya bia wutie no obasoa na wakyere wadwene na bibibia etimi akoye ha Sports Link Ghana.